too. I'm gonna turn it up for the news. Feast your eyes, I got something new. From up here, you can't beat the view.
It's been like 20 minutes that we finished processing Devon's deer. We walk away and immediately, right over there, there's a bear in a gut pile. I was like, really quick. Crazy noses on those buggers.
And we're about to witness what our skulls look like after another bear found our other gut pile. So that should be interesting.
I'll keep you guys updated. They're probably not gonna look too pretty. All right, so we made it to the heads. Here's the damage. She chewed up this side pretty good. That one's kind of okay. Jaw's gone. Devon's is looking pretty good. That one's slightly busted. Could have been much worse. It's not very often you have a day where there's nothing you could imagine that could be better with the day. Like, we came up here today and what we saw is just, it's incredible. It's just these beautiful grassy ridges, a lake surrounded by mountains. The cloud base is just below us, so like we're over top of the clouds here. We got 3 beautiful bucks, packed them all out. We saw a bunch of black bears, got in nice and close with them. I mean, it's just as good as a day of hunting can be. It's one of the top days of hunting I've ever had in my life. And it's just the first day we're out here. Like, this place is fantastic. And I mean, we got a great group of guys. We got the meat all on ice. We were gonna cook some up tonight, but it's just, we're losing light too fast. So we're gonna pack her in for tonight, have some food here, and get up nice and early tomorrow and do it all over again. See you guys in the morning.
It's about 7:30 now, and been glassing for just about half an hour. So we're gonna be a little more picky now that there's so many deer and we've already got 3. Unfortunately, they're not like fully developed. We're here pretty early, right? Still early July. They're still completely in velvet because they still actually have like well over a month left of growth. So a deer like Devon got yesterday, that's already got 3 points, good mass all the way around. You tell that would be a really great buck in the fall. There's potential world records up here on this mountain. This is something that is just not hunted whatsoever. There's no hunters that come here. So these deer are just unafraid of humans. They're everywhere in here. They got nothing but the best feed that they can ask for. So I think we're already thinking about planning a trip for next year, just coming a little later in the season and getting some of these deer when they hit their full growth potential. It'll be really neat to see the caliber of bucks that we can pull out of here. So we got this little fawn and a doe down here, spotted fawn. Super cute to watch. It's just kind of prancing around, running around its mom in circles. It looks like it's scared of its own shadow, just like popping off.
Still going.
So fast, man. It runs away and then runs right back to mom.
It's just doing loops. So we just packed up camp and now we decided we're gonna just spend the rest of the afternoon and go have ourselves a great lunch just over there on the shore of the lake. Do a little bit of fishing and cook up a big feast from everything that we got yesterday. And as soon as we got over this hill, we got one bear just below us feeding on the one carcass, and we have another bear on Devon's second kill carcass as well. So the bears are out, so we're just gonna kind of have to watch what we're doing as we're navigating around them. That is a good bear.
Sure would be nice to be black bear hunting around here.
All right, everybody, so today I'm going to show you how to make Sitka sticks. Me and Trav are going to do a nice little lunch here for everybody in the camp. Trav's just getting started with the fire. He's prepping his own little dish there.
Today I'm going to be cooking Sitka Tastebuds, and I'm going to be using the tongues from the 2 bucks that we shot yesterday. We're going to add some cheese, some stuffing, some naan bread. It's going to be delicious.
What I'm going to start here, I just went into the bush, gathered some hemlock branches. What I'm going to do is just get them down to a nice little stick like this by just taking off all the little branches. Next, I'm going to just shave down all the bark off the sticks, get some nice pointy tips on them, call them Sitka sticks, because we're going to be using the tenderloins of the Sitka deer that we got yesterday.
All right, so I'm just going to move a little bit of coals underneath where my pot's going to sit. I'm going to throw the tongues on there. This is going to have to boil for about an hour and a half. Now the next step is I got these little bouillon cubes. This is just chicken stock cubes. Yeah, throw 2 of those in there, just to add a little bit of flavor to the meat of the tongue.
I made my little shelter here. It seemed just to get heated up a little bit. I didn't want the meat to be sitting in the sun while I was prepping everything. So what I got here are the 3 deer that we got yesterday, all their tenderloins. So just gonna clean these off a little bit. Once I have them all nice and prepped and clean, I'm just gonna cut them up into little chunks, probably 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick. I brought up some mint with me up on this trip. What I'm gonna do here is just grab some of this. I'm gonna put it in my little bowl here and then put a little bit of water in there with it and then just mince it up with this rock here. And I'm just gonna add that into my marinade for the meat and let that sit for probably 20 or 30 minutes or so, or until that tongue is all done.
So the tongue's been simmering for just a little over an hour. Nice gentle boil. We're gonna pull it out of the fire here and put some fresh cold water in there. Just let them cool off for a little bit. And we'll come back in 10 minutes here and peel these tongues.
Balsamic vinegar, just put a little smidge in each bag here. Olive oil, don't go anywhere without this stuff. Homemade barbecue sauce, secret recipe, can't tell you. And then also I made this homemade spice, kind of tastes like a Cajun and curry kind of mixed together a little bit. It's really tasty though. Just close those up, mix them around a bit. Just gonna let these guys sit maybe 20-30 minutes.
Why do you have to scrape it?
You just want to take this skin with all the, you know, the taste buds and stuff like that. You want to take that skin off of there. There might be a simpler way of doing this, I just don't know about it. So we're gonna slice these tongues, nice thin slices. Add a little bit of spice to this. Just gonna cut a little bit of onion. I'm gonna add a handful of dried chanterelles. Get those onions sweating a little bit. Add just a bit of water to this. And then here's the breadcrumbs with Parmesan cheese mixed into it. We're gonna cut up some baby bells just to add some melted cheese to our Sitka taste buds. We're gonna add a little bit of coconut oil to this naan bread. Brush it on there nicely. Then we're gonna cut it up into pie slices. And add a couple pieces of tongue to it. A little blob of stuffing. And top it off with some cheese. And boom, that's the first ever Sitka taste bud right there, my friend. All right, we're ready to throw these Sitka taste buds on the hot rock. We're gonna add a little bit more coconut oil. Give it that extra taste.
All right, so we're just gonna get these Sitka sticks on the fire. It's nice and hot there. Maybe start with a couple right on the back just because the flames are pretty high. Oh man, those are gonna be good. Get them while they're hot.
So first bite of the Sitka taste buds, gents.
Cheers.
Cheers to a successful trip.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just starting, only day 2.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
That's really good.
That's real good.
Just start you up a little naan restaurant. Trav's naan bread.
Darn delicious.
I'd say.
You gonna eat right off the stick?
Oh yeah, I'm a carnivore, bud.
We're a couple first-time Sitka hunters. I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
3 deer down.
3 deer down. 2 amazing meals down.
I think we need to add a little heat on there.
It was some of the best tenderloins I've ever had.
As soon as we came up over this hill, we looked up and there's actually 2 bears now right where the carcasses are, which is not far from our meat. The one bear actually chased the other bear off there, so he's getting a little bit aggressive. And if we go after this deer and come out at dusk, it might be a little dangerous to get in there. So we're gonna pack up, get over top of that bear, go grab our meat out of our little cooler, and then we're gonna hike up over the mountain and we're gonna go put it in a different ice shelf on the other side of the mountain away from these bears so it's safer and we're not risking losing some meat. So we found a new ice chest. It's not quite as good as the other one where it has a nice dome, but it'll do. We'll stack the meat in here, then we're just gonna break a bunch of snow on top of it just to keep it nice and cool. All right, there we go. 1 ice box, done. Tomorrow, 2 more deer in here. But now, Brady, you ready? Ready for a little race? Down the snow slide in 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, Devon's got heat. Trav's got the roll.
All right, so we just got set up on the other ridge. As soon as we crested over here, we got 2 deer, a doe and a fawn right in front of us. There's a smaller buck down below. We literally just came over, so we're just gonna keep glassing here and see if there's a nice caliber buck in this basin.
So it's been about an hour now that we're kind of glassing up deer, and we saw well over 20 in that basin there just behind us. A couple decent little bucks. There's one fairly nice one here. He's a 3x2. And there's like 8 others on this ridge, bunch of bucks all over the place. And we're just kind of trying to figure out a game plan here for tomorrow. Until like we want to try and get one at least that's a 3x3. If there's a 4x4 out there, great. But it's hard just at this time of year, you know, in this July period, early July, they're just not fully developed yet. So it's harder to find those bigger deer. Like, all of these deer are just absolute great deer that are out here, and once they're fully developed. But at this moment, they're still a little bit small, so we're just really looking for one that's full frame as much as possible at this time of year. So we're pretty much wrapping up the night, and we got at least a dozen deer, probably 10 bucks right in front of us here. We're watching 2 black bears. There's one on this hillside, one on this hillside. There's actually a buck right here, just right in front of us too. And as we're looking at all these, a buck just walked over, not even 10 yards behind us. Just ran down here and just snort-wheezed off. This place is just, it's magical. I keep saying it, but it truly is. Anyways, we're gonna hang out here for probably another 10 minutes and head back to camp and have some dinner and call it a night. So if we don't see you, we'll see you guys in the morning. It's morning, 3rd day out here. About 7:30 now. And we're just kind of glassing this hillside at camp. As soon as we got out here, there was a bachelor group of 5 bucks, and then they were joined by another 5, 2 smaller bucks, and then 3 does. And something spooked them, and they just ran across this entire mountainside, jumped a canyon, and then kept running way over there into those trees. I don't know what spooked them, but pretty neat to watch this morning. There's still
4 or 5 deer just milling around down here. So we're gonna spend another 10 minutes here, have some coffees, and we're gonna start hiking a ridgeline behind camp. We're gonna try and get behind that lake where we had the cookout by the water yesterday, and try and get back there because there's some nice grassy rolling hills that should be holding some new deer that we haven't laid any eyes on yet. Can't see those bucks.
Well, there might be one there sitting down. If you follow the ridgeline, you start seeing the little branches or like shrubs on top of the tree line.
Yeah.
Ridgeline. They're somewhere in the area.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I see them. See one anyway. One buck.
There's 3 there for sure.
And this is also a small buck. So we just crested the ridge from camp. We're just kind of watching this bowl. And we got 3 bucks right here on this ridge line. We're just kind of looking now, but we're gonna take 5 minutes here, glass this off before we get in there because I can actually see some more deer right now with my naked eye. Just up there, there's probably another 10 deer on here, so if we can find a good one, then we can make a play. If not, we're just gonna keep skirting this ridge line and just kind of keep glassing into the bowl and throw out all these little fingers here. So we just really gotta make sure to take our time glassing this off because I don't want to bump any of these deer. Set up here, we got a bear down in the basin. We got another bear here on the cliff edge walking directly towards us. A small spike buck just walked 15 yards from us embedded, and that bigger buck, Brady's saying, is about to come over this hill. We also have about 6 deer right here in front of us. This place is incredible. This bear is just walking right to us. He's at 78 yards right now. And he's coming closer. I'm really excited to see what he does because that little spiker buck is bedded about 25 yards in front of him in that little shrub. So it'd be really cool to see some bear on deer action right here. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Oh. If only that buck was bedded on the other side of those shrubs. He was going for it too. So after glassing up a bunch of bucks in here, we glassed over 10 bucks just in this little basin. Looks like the other buck that we saw is still the biggest. So we're just gonna sneak around and try and get over. Looks like he bedded just over this ridge, but we do have that black bear to contend with. He's just over 40 yards away, bedded in this shrubbery here. We gotta walk right by him. So we're trying to be careful as we're walking by. Hopefully we don't arouse this bear. That bear is right here. And the buck, we think, is just over this ridge. There's a doe right there. The buck is 40 yards right there. Okay, we're gonna try and be real careful here because that buck has the high ground on it. It's just above us. You just see his rack in the ground.
since we've been here. And this is the biggest buck that we found. So even though he's not a giant right now because he's not fully developed, still a really good buck in comparison to everything else that we've seen around here because it's early July. So I'm real excited about this buck. Okay, we're all set up on the deer. He's at about 30 yards right now, so we're just gonna peek up over the hill a little bit. We're gonna put him to sleep.